the center. He might be just coming in with 3 weeks notice, but he is the king of this team, right? He is the one with the experience. He's a world champion, and they all look to him for his expertise.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, the jump from going from playing in scrims, playing in your local league, to then going and playing at LAN against Wolves, you know, with no ping, is a very different jump. The game plays out differently, and the mental game that you bring into an official is so different to your practice as well. Things that work in scrims don't always translate to your officials, especially when you're playing against a completely different region like EU, like against Wolves. That's where you need the experience of Kamikaze to keep everyone's heads in the game and make sure that they can perform. That's
right. Well, digging into these bans now, we see Alpha Atheris, they get the final ban, and it is Solus, in fact. So a lot more pre-placed drones, a lot more live droning is going to be available here, which I think is pretty important, Mandy, in the absence of that Dokkaebi, which would otherwise be really good and helpful for going for these roam clears. Oh, man, I just love those synchronized card backgrounds there for Wolves.
That's so cool.
So good.
It's actually sick. I feel like all the teams that have had like their background shown off in this tournament so far have been really awesome. Like the Sandbox one. Look, I know Sandbox are out now, but they farmed the card game by putting 2 counts on them.
I think they uncovered the new meta, right? Like a while ago, there was the anime skin meta.
Yes, the waifu meta.
Yeah, the waifu meta. and now we're up to the cat meta. I think Sandbox have really pioneered something there.
Oh, that's funny. Anyway, we're going to head down to the basement. And like you've pointed out already, Solus has been taken off the board by Alpha Atheris, right? And so there is a possibility for Wolves to be able to actually put some pre-placed drones inside of the building and enable themselves to roam clear pretty quick. They've even got the Lion on the hands of Deadshot as well to expedite that process through the map.
10 seconds left.
It does seem to be a little bit of a roam game, if I'm not wrong. I like this Valkyrie pick, though. Yeah, so as you can see, the open area hatch has been pre-opened. There's some reinforcers expended on the elevator hallway towards Loan Office. Ivan is here in the top floor. Still one Valkyrie camera in pocket. Legion Mines as well will give off a sort of passive information to the defense as well. The question remains, how will Wolves deal with this? We saw earlier today, Mandy, in their game against Bliss, a massive adaptability and an interest in getting information before committing to a push.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. With the double special drone squad as well, both Mowgli and Bibu, they're going to be on those drones through that mid-round. It's going to take time for them to actually be on those drones, get the finesse done of actually clearing out some of those utility, either on the bomb side or even aiding some of the roam. It does look like they're immediately turning their attention in towards Dirt Tunnel. That's what Mowgli's trying to do. But meanwhile, Bibu has found the first pick somewhere else.
Yeah, that's a very early one. I'm not sure exactly what went down there. Hask was the star player for Alpha Atheris by far against Space Station. He's already gone down here. Mowgli's got tons of information here in server. Managed to keep his drone alive for quite a long time as well. Kamikaze eventually takes it down and expends his second gas babe on keeping that player at bay. I just want to note for a second, I love the fact that Kamikaze is running the NIP skin on his SMG-11, a nod to his former team.
All right, here we go. Ivan, he's got info on the player outside on the balcony. Yellow pings do ring out, and he's actually going to commit to the jump out for it, but doesn't land the shots. Deadshot to claim the second one in the round for Wolves.
A very good read there from Deadshot, and Wolves are incredibly competent at suppressing aggression. They're so comfortable at just sitting back and waiting when they have the advantage on the attacking side. As we can see right now, 5v3. Alpha Atheris are wondering what's next. What is the next move? Do we have to get aggressive? Wolves seem to be ready for it.
Well, a tough spot at the moment for Alpha Atheris is I believe they've double shotguns on the board now. It's Toski and Kamikaze that have got shotgun and, well, an SMG-11. But that does mean they're going to look for more of those close quarters gunfights rather than being able to retake up the stairs, play the aggression, whatever. That was what Ivan was trying to do. These last couple players don't quite have that same capability. So what they can do now is just rely on these power positions, see how much they can get done. But with Wolves with a pretty heavy man advantage, surely there's enough redundancy to push into it.
Wolves are being quite slow about it, but I think it's about the thoroughness that they're focusing for. They might not have a lot of time to go for a plan, but in the numbers advantage, they should be able to make a flood execute work.
And here they go. With only 25 seconds left, it does seem like it's going to be a lobby-sided take down the main stairs, but is that the mistake? Toski is on the other side with a shotgun at the bottom of the stairs. There's only 19 seconds left to go, and here goes Jay.
Jay! He does get traded on back, though. It's all up to Kamikaze now. 1v4, Mandy. It's not going to be easy. He might be a world champion of the past. But we're talking about today. He does find Mowgli eventually, finishing him off, but he is trapped out of the bomb site thanks to those Vulcan canisters. Deadshot to force that plant down. Kamikaze must take these 1v1s, but it's a long time to wait out the fire as the diffuser has been confirmed, and 3 players stand between Kamikaze and the retake. Once again, shoulder peeking for information. He is not allowed anything. Bibu closes out the final kill. With a bit of height, Wolves will take the opening round.
Yeah, and that's the Wolves' MO, isn't it? Wolves, they are that execute team. They really lean into the late game and play it to perfection on the attack. That is what they do best by far and away. They're just such a coordinated team. They manage to do things so simultaneously together on every single execute that they plan out. They just dial it back a little bit, get all your drones in. They have a lot of them in that round. And like you pointed out super early, their planning phase is immaculate.
Very much so. They love to continue measuring the situation before they commit to anything. And when they commit, oh boy, did they go for it. All players all together. That's what Wolves are so phenomenal at. I got to say, we've been really treated. Casting 2 Wolves games today,
yeah.
There's just such a phenomenal team to watch. I really enjoy their play style.
Yeah, absolutely. Like for me, if you're watching the broadcast right now, like you're an amateur team, you're trying to learn, Wolves are one of the teams to watch, in my opinion. Like, yes, you've got your BDS, actually the other French team, another really great team to like watch and learn from, because the way that they play the game is so translatable, because it just makes so much sense, right? Like, you watch what they're doing and they're like, and you're like, yeah, you know, that's exactly why they're doing the things that they do. That's why they play the pacing of the game that they do. It just seems so methodical and well thought out, right? And I think that's the joy in watching this team.
Alpha Atheris need to clue into this playstyle from the Wolves, though. Now, Alpha Atheris, as we said, a lot of roster changes on this team. And, well, of course, being from Latin America, being from the LATAM League, they're not really used to the level of competition that Wolves are over in EU. But, like we've said, they've got Kamikaze on the squad now. And these guys are here for a reason. They have high potential. They also had a very challenging group. They played against Space Station, now they're playing against Wolves. It really does not get much easier from that for one of the greenest teams at this event.
Here goes Wolves at their approach into the building. The bomb site is going to be the top floor, and once again, pretty conventional a setup, I think, from Alpha Terrace, just leaning into that castle, making sure Lounge is safe from the repels, yada-da. But on the side of Wolves, they do have enough explosives to actually deal with that setup. Not only do they have the Zofia, but they even have the Ash on Bibu as well for even more redundancy in explosives. That setup inside of Lounge is probably going to be taken out. We can actually see Bibu all the way over on the parking repel. He's going to be able to use his Ash charges to really cut down this defense, and in fact, he finds the kill into Banana.
A great start, and the kills continue going back and forth. Mowgli has snuck his way onto the balcony here, and so close to the site. Deadshot times his push perfectly for 2. All up to Jay, and another 1v4 for Alpha Atheris. He hears information on the back of that goo mine detonating, and he rounds the corner to see Deadshot, but cannot land the killing shot. As this plant is about to go down, he will not even find a single kill. And a good second round there for Wolves on the back of the Swiss player on that far left-hand side. Deadshot having a phenomenal round, and Wolves continuing their dominance.
Yeah, smooth shooting there from Deadshot on his own 3K coming in through top square. Timed perfectly. I think that was the main thing, right? Wolves, they're so good at doing things together, right? And that is the joy in watching them, like we've been saying, and I think Deadshot has just been such a good addition, I think, to the Wolves. He's been super consistent in his games. Like, you don't always think of Deadshot as like, wow, the superstar player of Wolves or anything like that, but when he's there, when he's shooting, he shoots straight. You know, he shoots really well, and every game he's consistent.
Very much so. It's P4 who we talked about so much in the Bliss game, though. It was such a crazy thing to see him exceeding everyone else on his team for the majority of that game. And as far as I'm aware, P4 is still that in-game leader. I think I'm going to have a chat to them after today to just get the most up-to-date, because obviously these days in Siege, the meta is a lot more complicated. It's not the good old times of, oh yeah, you've got your one hard support and you got this. No, it's not that simple anymore. But P4 is definitely an important voice on this team, and I love to see him frag out as well when he does, and I'd love to see a little bit more of that in this match. Early days, of course, for Wolves, 2-0 on their attacking side. But we did see they did flourish a lot more on their attack than their defense on Chalet. Could be the same story here on Bank.
And that's certainly right. They're actually going to change their bomb site completely, Alpha Terrace. They're not going to repeat any of the primary bomb sites and going to send themselves over into Staff Room and Open Area instead. Bibu getting those clutch drones in pretty early on, wondering what's going on inside of bottom square, seeing if they can get any early control into the bomb site. That seems to be the Wolves' MO of the day at the moment. How far into the bomb site can they get without the defense noticing? Well, it seems like they're ready for it this time around.
Special drone squad, roll out. Bibu's tempted to get some information on the site. If he could hack some of these Valkyrie cameras now, that would be something. Another special drone. I know how much you love these Brothers and Flores picks.
So cool.
Oh, Bibu's spotted though, and he does lose that drone.
It just goes so fast, you know? Like, the clutch drone's so, like, big and chunky, but it's like, I want to go through the map. Anyway, I love clutch drones. They're awesome. Anyway, it does look like they are looking to hit the bomb site regardless, right? They've sent in all that info. They've seen what's going on there. They've even sent Rotero drones in to try and clear some stuff. Oh, and there they go on in. But Kamikaze and Jay will double down to take them down on the bomb site.
Now, here we go. Finally an opening as Bibu finds his 5th kill of the game. It's up to him and Deadshot to land the final 3 kills. Jay takes down Bibu's only remaining teammate.
Ooh.
He might not know it, but he's just gotten injured. This is very winnable now. 2 kills remain. Jay low HP. Toski opening up an angle to try and support his teammate. But this is so close. Okay, he knows it's now a 1v2. A smoke to go out and try and cover him. Oh no, you can't be peeking those, Jay! It's a 1v1 all of a sudden. For Bibu, deathless in this match. And all he needs is this final kill, forcing down the plant, protected by the Kiba. Toski will not take the bait. He will wait. And as the smoke goes out, there is a gap. There is an opening that Bibu will not commit. He must at some point. The time is on his side as Toski makes the rotation. Bibu secures the defuse. And now Toski must retake. Bibu spots him for a brief moment, but cannot land the shot until he does. 1v3, and this Frenchman is unkillable.
Yeah, the veteran of the squad, Bibu, can take them down in 1 versus 3 fashion, showing his experience here in the series, and it's going to put Wolves on 3-0 in their attacking half going into bank. I mean, what a crazy attack that was. Very explosive in through the midbound. It was scrappy. They threw bodies at the bomb site. It almost looked like it wasn't going to go their way, but Bibu can step up to the plate and claim one back for Wolves.
That was an amazing clutch, Mandy. I feel like that deserved 2 play-by-play casters at the same time. And that's pretty much what we got. I don't know if you guys at home could hear it, but that entire time, I'm trying to concentrate on the goddamn round. And I just hear a lovely Timothy, Ace of Pyrite, on the A stream, yelling about Fury doing this and that.
Something's going down there. I don't know what is going down
I actually
there,
have, I don't know, can we give a spoiler warning to the stream? Okay, if you don't want to know what's going on the A stream right now, which is the Fury versus... I can't remember. Knights. Fury versus Knights match.
The one.
Okay, spoiler warning, go. It's currently 6-3 in favor of Fury on map 2, which means that they are currently on match point and Knights are staring down elimination point. Now, on both the A stream and the B stream right now, we have 2 Latin American teams trying to survive. If Wolves win this and Fury beat Knights, that's goodbye Latin America on day 1.
No, that's so sad.
Would be devastating, especially after what we saw from
It's
teams
a
like...
world.
Yeah, I mean, teams like Revan in Copenhagen, which of course, Revan not very Latin American, but they did play in the Latin American League. They made it a bit further than I think a lot of people had given them credit for initially. And it's exciting to see 2 new, fresh Latin American teams this time around, right? Like, we don't have any overlap with the teams that made Copenhagen. And so I hope at least we get a little bit of contest here from Alpha Atheris.
Oh, I hope so as well. I mean, love the boys over in Fury. You know, SCA represent.
I'm a bit biased.
You know, SCA represent. But, you know, like, damn, both Latin American teams going down, that would be a real shame.
Already happened to Korea, but of course they still have D+ waiting in the wings in phase 2.
All right, but we need to turn our attention to this game. This one's still happening at the moment, and Alpha Terrace are going to re-attempt this top floor bomb site. Once again, leaning into holding on as much as they can. Oh, it is the top floor bomb site. They just didn't bring along the castle this time. I think they've read into the fact that Wolves know how to deal with it much better. So instead, they're going to just lean into, like, you know, the double C4s. Actually, it's not even double C4s. Hask doesn't have one.
I'm surprised there's no Azami, though.
Yeah, me too. It just feels like a very bare-bones strategy. You know, I don't exactly know what Alpha Theris' plan here is, to be honest. I guess there's a lot of info. You know, you've got the Yokais, you've got the Valks. So they can at least see what Wolves are doing, but the point of
Ooh,
resistance doesn't seem to be that much.
This has been pretty good so far, though, from Alpha Atheris. Jay's done a phenomenal job of keeping this Monty at bay. Elsewhere, exchanges go through. P4's in the goddamn site.
How's he here?
How did he get there? I'd love to know. But Alpha Atheris can't dwell on the past. They must look to the future. Deadshot already in sight as well. Hanging out in airlock. But he gets his head clean taken off by Hask, who stepped up. Bibu still undead in this match. 8-0 on the Monty. He must wait for Shinka to come and rotate through. Now there's a player spotted in top square. Will Shinka find it?
Cook this fool. Do it. Oh no, he can't get the line of sight. Oh, he can!
So
He's seen him! Alright, there we go, Shinka. Nice one. But he's the only gun left in the server for Wolves. Well, yes, Bibu has a gun, but a small one.
A very
small one. And when you're
pistol.
on the top floor bomb site, it's not so cool to have a small gun because the bomb site's big. Actually, he's in the bomb site, so Shinka, you better get your way on in here.
Yeah, and I think that Alpha Atheris are starting to smell blood in the water. They know that this Monty is alone. They're making sure not to get flanked, but they want to 2v1 this Monty! But they themselves will be taken down. Bibu remains the impossible man. 9 kills, not a single death to his name, 4 rounds in.
Man is immortal in the server at the moment. How on earth were Wolves able to do that? We looked away for 1 second and we looked back and P4 is in the middle of the bomb site. How does that happen? What's going on?
I mean, Deadshot
what is happening?
Bibu will just walk straight up the spiral stairs. I think P4 must have jumped down from the skylight drop. No bloody idea how Deadshot got to Banana, though.
Oh, nah, no way.
Insane stuff from Wolves to see an opportunity and absolutely go for it. And I'm really loving this form from Bibu. You know, this guy is the longest serving pro at Atlanta. He has been playing professionally for 7.5 years, ever since Season 1 of Pro League on Xbox.
Wow. That's a long time ago.
Damn long time,
Damn.
and yet he has never won a championship.
Damn.
He has played at 11 international LAN events, majors, SIs, Pro League finals. Never once has he won one.
Damn. I don't want to see him win something.
I think if there's any
That would be
players
cool.
out there that are like begging for the opportunity to win something, it's got to be Bibu, Palu. I think are the 2 obvious ones that have never won a championship. And I mean, maybe it won't happen this event. Wolves are in the lower bracket, for goodness sake.
Oh, I forgot about that. I genuinely forgot about that for a moment. This is an elimination match. That is not good. That is not where you want to be if you're Wolves. Or if you're Alpha Atheris, you've got it even worse right now. 0-4 is the scoreline. Now they've just taken their tactical timeout, so they've probably realized, all right, boys, something's going wrong. What is it? And they're going to try and change a couple things up. They are going to go for a repeat down inside of the basement, but they're not looking to extend out their roam like they did last time. This time, they're closing up the hatch and open. They're going to lean more into playing into that late game, playing the plans now with the smoke and the Goyo in tandem. Not just that, but the set of C4, of course, on Ivan to try and play in to that late game and deny the plant.
Yeah, very typical setup on that defensive side. Wow, very early E1D from Deadshot.
Free map control.
Yeah, it has enabled 2 players to get here into open area, and I think Alpha Atheris have no choice but to forfeit control.
Yeah, no, Bibu is on a set of pre-place. So you can see him flicking through at the moment. Okay, he just got off at the moment that I said it, but yeah, Bibu was sitting there on pre-place the entire, first 30 seconds of the round, just getting his players in straight away. Of course, absence of Solace, that's what you can do with it. Not just that, but Alpha Atheris completely forfeiting the map, so there's no one up there shooting drones or anything like that, right? They got complete map control with 2 minutes left to go. Now it's just about opening up those hatches.
With Kaid banned out, that's going to be a lot easier as well. This is very aggressive, though, from Ivan. Surely he's been droned. I think they know. They must find this kill. No! Deadshot goes down. Mr. Consistent. Oh! P4! He almost gets taken out. Mowgli thankfully is there to help on out and finally finish off Ivan on his reign of terror. That was a decent amount of damage done. Half of P4's HP gone. Alpha Atheris looking to get very proactive here. Look at this aggression in server.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's not too bad of a pick, though, I think, for Wolves to have the Lion going down. I think, like you're saying, Alpha Theris, they are still going to hold on to as much of that basement as they can. Otherwise, it's going to get claustrophobic pretty quick. But on the side of Wolves, losing out your Lion isn't exactly mission critical to the push that they want to do. What matters more in this phase is that Bibu has spent all that mid-round actually clearing out all the Goyo canisters inside of server. So what all the defense were trying to do was play in server, play in the bomb site, try and shoot out the Twitch drones. Oh, they haven't been so successful about that. And that's really going to set up Wolves for that late round execute.
Once again, the idea is not to go for a typical execute. They've got players on both of the lobby hatches. Hask is waiting in the wings with this slug shot. He finds one. The double for Hask! Can the trade come through for Wolves? They desperately need it. 2 players in the deficit, but Mowgli goes down as well. Toski to finish the equation. Alpha Atheris are finally on the scoreboard.
Yeah, well set up there for Alpha Theris. They didn't get overzealous on that server side of the map, even though so much utility had gone down there. They had the read early on that Wolves are actually going to go in for that lobby-sided drop, and they were so ready for it by the time that they came through. We were on board with Husk. 2 really nice headshots to start everything off, and it just felt like the deal was sealed from there after that. They played such great crossfires in the last couple seconds.
Yeah, good read from Alpha Atheris as well. They said, look, we've seen one of these Wolves executes before. We know where they're going to come from. We're not going to overcommit to server. We know that they are very fond of dropping those backside hatches, and so we will prioritize having Hask over there. And for him to take 2 with him, massive for Alpha. Now moving on. You said it already. We have seen this open area staff room bomb site once before, and it should have been Alpha Atheris' round, but Bibu got a 1v3. You can't account for that. They can revisit this bomb site and say, okay, second time's the charm.
Yeah. Interesting adaptation, though, on the side of Wolves. They're not going to lean into that Brava anymore, but Bibu's instead going to re-pick all the way over to Ossa instead. Not just that, but Deadshot's decided they probably need another gun on the building, and he's going to jump himself on Ash as well. So it does seem like, once again, Wolves are going to lean into that explosive execute early on, try and enable themselves to get into the building, and then get the plant down and play a more objective, focused game.
Well, Wolves haven't done many things wrong so far, so I wouldn't question their judgment on that. Ivan's consistently doing these little cheeky positions, right? The Valkyrie and Electrical last round. Now he's quite aggressive upstairs in airlock, looking to tease any early CEO pressure, which Shinka is suggesting at the moment by shooting down these windows. Ivan's just waiting for a drone to come in and signal the position.
Ooh, he's going for the jump out though. No! Oh, he gets shut down. Shinka ready for it with a slither of HP. He can take down the first pick, and Ivan 2 times in a row. His cheeky business doesn't quite work.
Man, but if he had found that kill, it would have been so worth it. That's the hard breach. That's the diffuser. That would have wasted so much time from Wolves. But you just got to land those shots, don't you? And as soon as you miss it, it's a massive missed opportunity, and Wolves are in the driver's seat, no doubt about it.
Here goes Mowgli coming down the main stairs, but there is still a player inside of Banana wrapping around. Now it's Husk just escaping away with his life, but there's a player on the chase right behind him. He's not going to drop the hatch after him, but that means that both these players fall back to safety.
Mowgli's struggling in this game once again. He had a bit of a slow one against Bliss as well. Bibu is more than making up for it, 9-1. Still surviving.
Something's happening.
I think something's happening on the A stream, Mandy.
I think there is as well.
Can we do a quick spoiler, guys? All right, quick spoiler warning. If you don't want to know the result of the other game, cover your ears for a second. Fury have just won.
Let's go!
Fury have survived to day 2. Meanwhile, Hask has said P4 will not survive this round.
Yeah, up the boys. Anyway,
up
sorry.
the boys.
Sorry.
I'm excited.
50 seconds, 50 seconds. This is intense now, right? Alpha Theris, they could win this one out. They have the man advantage. They still have that stronghold on the bomb site. It hasn't been cleared, so Kamikaze's feeling good.
Oh,
but
Bibu.
what is this from Bibu jumping straight on into the bomb site, but taken down?
Oh, come on, Jay. There's another one pushing on in. Shinka finds it, but the trade is once again good. Deadshot, the last player standing for the French, and he's not even French himself. 1v3. Good gun for it, good operator for it, but here's the swing. Oh, beautiful shot there. Hask goes down. He might catch Kamikaze out of position, but a world champion will not go down without a fight. A second round of defense for Alpha Atheris as they string together 2 in a row And as the sole Latin American representatives remaining at this event, they will need to do everything they can to survive this onslaught.
Nice one, though, from Alpha Arteris to at least close it out for a second one. Typically, we like to say on Bank, it's a pretty even map, I would argue. Some people say it's more attacker-sided. I think stats actually say it's attacker-sided, if I'm not wrong.
You can check that.
You can check that, yeah. I think the stats do say it's attacker-sided, but I see this as a more even map. So I think for Alpha Arteris to go 2-4, it's not terrible, it's not amazing, but it's workable. The game is not over for them just yet, and if they can keep working on these attacks, it's certainly within the realm of possibility to keep themselves in this series. Wolves, though, they are going to go onto their defending side, and it looks like they're going for a pretty heavy extension over throughout the entire map. Not only is there the mirror to hold on to the bomb site, that's Shinka, the self-sufficient operator, but there are also then roamers going in and extending out through the rest of the floors of the map. I believe they've even got the hatch open inside of open area for the fall-off as well.
Well, as you can see on the screen right now, if Wolves win this game, they are 100% confirmed for SI. Fury have already 100% confirmed themselves now with their victory. And Alpha Atheris, unfortunately, their chances of making Six Invitational, even if they win this match, are still incredibly slim. They will have to have a very deep run in Atlanta to make up for their lacking performance in Stage 1.
Really extended hold here from Wolves. Not only are they holding onto the ground floor, but they're even extending all the way up into the top floor. That's Bibu, the first point of contest, sitting in the same cheeky corner that Ivan was in. So you would think, oh, and he's even got the window prepped. Perhaps he's thinking of a run out of his own.
Whatever you can do, I can do better, he says.
Yeah, hack the drone.
Okay, dead shot. Mozzie drone tested. Beautiful angle with the commando, no less. No Roni supported. Bibu jumps out, finds that kill. Jay goes down, and another one bites the dust. Dead shot's taken. Toski with him. Kamikaze and Ivan to pick up the pieces in a 2 versus 5 with not a lot to show for it. Ivan gets desperate. He must move on inside. But time is ticking away. Hatch is fortunately pre-opened for him, but there's not much left to do in this round, I don't think.
No, certainly not. Wolves completely gate crashed the party there as they tried to jump their way into the building. They get jumped out on instead, and Kamikaze taking a bit of a duel with Bibu on the other side. Actually, Bibu doesn't really have a way to fall off anymore. He's sort of stuck in this lobby position. But I have a feeling that's not going to give Alpha Arteris much.
No!
Kamikaze even taking out Ivan. He must have thought he was Bibu, the imposter.
Oh, Kamikaze. If that doesn't tell you that these players are shaking, I don't know what does. You pick up a world champion as an emergency substitute and he flick team kills you like that. That has got to hurt.
Oh man, Ivan's probably shaking in his boots, as Stokes would say. That's not cool.
Shaking in his boots. You really wanted to say that, didn't you?
I really did want to say
Can
that.
Can you do it in Sam's accent?
No, I can't.
Give it a crack.
No, ain't no way. Not happening.
We'll work on that and we'll come back to it later.
Can you say it in an American accent?
He was shaking in his boots.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
That's not bad.
Thank you.
That's all right for me.
No, the silence was killing me. You just stood there judging me.
I had to make you feel nervous at first.
Yeah,
right?
you do a great job of it.
It's part of the charm. Anyway. Here we go. We're going to go over to the top floor bomber site for Wolves, having successfully defended the basement. Actually, overwhelming success, I would say. And now we're going to go over into the top floor, and they're once again leaning into pretty similar strategy, very much centered in around all these strong anchor operators. You've got the mirror to hold on to these positions inside of the hallway, inside of janitor, and you've got the castle to make sure that the lounge is safe and yada. Not just that, curious pick for me, Bibu on Maestro, sort of out of fashion these days, but seems to have an idea for it.
Yeah, I'm curious what that idea is. Perhaps just some solid information gathering on the site. They don't actually run a lot of bulletproof cameras. They have the castle, so I mean, this is info galore, right? If you count the mirror, that's 1. Then you've got 3 Valkyrie cameras, 2 Evil Eyes from Maestro, and the BPC from Castle. Bibu wants to jump out with the bloody Maestro. With the bloody Maestro!
I mean, I think he's put it on the wrong window, but... Yeah, he has. I think Jay's put it on a window too close to him.
That window.
And there are no... Oh, no. Toski's got Claymore, so surely Toski's going to run on over and, like, put the things down and...
I don't see any yet, man.
They'll be good. They'll be good, right? Right?
Nah, Toski's in the building. He's not doing Claymores.
I think he's just stared a black eye in the eye as well.
Really? Okay,
Well, there's another cam in lobby somewhere.
Where is the Valk cam?
I thought the exit sign was it, and I don't see it. Ooh, that is such a cool Maestro cam. That is awesome.
So this can destroy any utility that's being placed on the Kanto wall. to deny a breach there. Very cheeky.
Oh, there we go. He's doing it. Toski's doing the special claymores, so he's safe and sound. This is good. Oh no, that's less good. Mowgli's killed them.
You have a magic way with words, Mandy, but you're not wrong. Mowgli has taken down Hask, and I don't know what's gone on for Alpha Atheris, but they have really struggled so far in this game. They've strung together 2 rounds, but then on the switch to the attacking side, they have struggled massively. Bibu jumps out and somehow survives the Claymores. Dead shot lands a crisp one onto Ivan. Kamikaze down, but not out. Jay, the last player standing against 5 angry wolves. And he's on the roof. He should effectively take a tactical timeout here. He could just wait and talk to his team. They haven't taken a tactical as of yet this game. And after this round, they will be down facing map point on Wolves' map pick.
Wait, how is there a player outside? Sorry, side tangent.
Bibu jumped out the windows.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's still out there. He's still out there. I saw him get a kill, and like, I don't know how he dodged the claymore.
Yeah,
like
that's
maybe
what
it was,
I was wondering.
Maybe it was
How?
poorly placed, or maybe he shot it, and then maybe it's a Giga Chad like that.
Mate, this is fair enough, I reckon, from Alpha Terrace. They realized, okay, look, we've lost this one. You guys have got it, but let's use this to take a tactical timeout instead. I think it's a fair enough call. They don't quite look like a unit when they're going in for their attacks. They're just small things. Actually, not even small things. There are things that are just not quite going there to plan, because I don't think everyone is on the same plan at times.
Yeah, well, I think we really saw that with that team kill. Downing, yeah, there you go. Okay, round over, flawless, whatever. So poor Alpha Atheris here, like they're trying so hard, but as you said, they are so out of sync with each other. And we really saw that personified with the team kill 2 rounds prior, which ironically is from the most experienced player on the team, right? So this is a debut for Alpha Atheris. They qualified fair and square without Kamikaze on the team. Unfortunately, Matumba couldn't make it due to visa issues or whatever it was. And now they're playing on their first ever event. And they're playing with a sub, no less. And it's been a rough slog, right? Space Station, a really tough opponent in a BO1. Wolves now, an incredibly challenging opponent as well in a BO3. And they are clearly rattled. Like, none of these players have the experience of playing in an event like this before, with the exception of Kamikaze. He's played it numerous and even won an invitational back in Paris in 2021. But a very different time. Kamikaze is not quite as sharp as he used to be, perhaps. And it's just such a challenge to try and get yourself into the headspace to play a match like this.
Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, to no fault of their own, right? Like, they didn't quite defeat the final boss, and that was the visa. And so, unfortunately, like you've been saying, they haven't been playing with their 5, and not playing with your full 5 going into a LAN really changes the team dynamic. Like, yes, they've brought in someone super experienced to try and push them over the line and get them in that right headspace, but when you're so inexperienced, these teams just have a tendency to get trumped, unfortunately, and that's just the nature of this debut into your international event. It's not just these guys, but even, you know, like you think about all the teams that debuted at the last major, felt the exact same adversities as well. And that's sort of just the cool format, I think, of this 2023 season of Rainbow Six.
That's right. It might be cruel, might be ruthless, but it does give an opportunity to many teams to show what they're worth. And for Ivan, a really nice shot with that twist drone to take down that mirror window. Shink is going to have to now crouch to keep his head safe. He does shoot the second twitch drone. And this is some pretty decent ground now taken by Alpha Atheris, but P4 will continue to rain terror down. If he can hold on to archives here, this could be big, but 2 massive kills force him to rotate back towards the side.
Oh, this is a pretty cool attack, actually, from Alpha Atheris. They've segmented off only the top square part of the map and then just sent Jay on his lonesome to see if he can get any backstabs. Now taking the tango with P4 on the other side, but he actually loses it out. P4, nice, sharp shooting to take him down.
Kamikaze is on for the trade, though he doesn't land the critical shot. P4 finds another one. Boy, is he sharp today. 2v3 now for Wolves as they hold on Mowgli down in the blue stairs, but I don't think Toski has any idea about it. As I say that, I think information might have come through. Oh, the C4 didn't land. Kamikaze's low, and he needs to force this plant down onto the ground. Toski continues to hold this position, but P4 has snuck on through. No! How does he get away with it? There's a player just on the other side who could pop up his head. Hask gets up, a flash to go down. P4 dodges them both, dodges them all. But Toski comes through at the final clutch moment for Alpha Theris and gets them yet another round. 3 more will be required to push overtime.
Toski really was the linchpin of that attack there for Alpha Terrace. Not only did he use his Ossa Shield to actually set themselves up on top of Square, but as they went in for the execute, he kept at bay all the players that were trying to return back to the site. He took the 1v1 to Mowgli, for example, on the top of Blue, making sure that his team was safe from the backstab to come through. Not just that, but even in the final dying seconds of the round, Hask was like, help, P4 is on the other side, I need you. And he came in and he shot him down as well. And yeah, I think Toski, probably, I would say the captain of this team. I think that he's actually said this in an interview as well. Might have been poorly translated because I can't read Spanish. But yeah, as I understand it, Toski is that leadership figure for this team, and being able to bring his team back into it with a good idea, on a good operator as well, is exactly what Alpha Theris need to take the fight to Wolves.
Yeah, I do agree. Alpha Theris, they do need to bring more special ideas, more nice little quirks and quips to this game, because it was a really slow start, right? 4 rounds in a row for Wolves. And that meant that by the time Alpha Theris woke up, Wolves were an eye on match point. On defense, they've been pretty damn solid, right? Like, that was just a tertiary bomb site for Wolves. They can now go back down to the basement. They could go up to CEO afterwards. And there's 3 more match points in the back pocket for them to do so.
Reload.
All right, here we go, Wolves. Match point now. Staying away from elimination. That's the goal here. It could be sent home if you lose out this series, and that is what is on the line, and Wolves, they really do not want to be sent home. It's Mowgli, first point of contest in this top floor, but he's going to fall off pretty early. There's not a lot of utility to support him in his position, so all he wants to do is just shoot a drone out and then fall back to the safety of his teammates. And so is Deadshot as well. Really early fall off in general from Wolves. I think the only player left is... Whoa, what's going on here? What is happening?
I am perplexed, Mandy. But clearly there was a read there on that push in, and Toski does manage to find one before he is traded. I'd say Wolves have still won that exchange.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think I would definitely agree with that. You want to use your Osso to then enable yourselves through the mid to late round, plan on an execute with it, and Toski has died. That's not so good.
No, it's not.
Whereas Mowgli, on the other side, is your set and forget utility. His ADSs are still alive, even though he isn't. And that's what matters.
A bomb has been located.
Now, if you're joining us on the main Rainbow Six screen, welcome. This is an elimination match between Wolves from France and Alpha Theris from Mexico and Brazil, the final remaining Latin American League team in the tournament. And they are staring down map point on their opponent's map pick. Wolves here, this is just map 1 of Bank. Next up is Oregon. Wolves have been so good, and they're looking pretty hot here too, Mandy. That said, Alpha Theris have made pretty decent headway in this mid-round, getting to work on those hatches.
It does make it a little easier, the fact that Wolves actually pre-opened a lot of those hatches. They were looking for what was a pretty light roam in the end inside of open and staff room, but electing to fall back pretty early to then kill the garage player. Anyway, it does seem like a push is starting to amount now for Alpha Theris. They are looking to take this back side of the map as they posture around the main stairs.
Tango spotted. Basement.
Okay, here comes Jay on the main stairs, but he's got to deal with quite a few different angles. And I still can't quite tell. It looks like Alpha Theris are once again changing their ideas. Ivan's found one, but Bibu trades himself. Kamikaze has dropped now into the elevator as the final E1D rings out. Deadshot, he's been phenomenal all day, all year for Wolves, but he goes down. Jay has brought the man advantage back into his team's favor. Kamikaze locked out of the side, but it's Jay once again. He does it all. Hask joins in. Only 2 match points remain. And it looks like Alpha Theris are on the march towards OT.
Solid explosive execute as well from Alpha Theris. I identified, okay, there was a bit too much resistance over on the server side. We don't want to face the mirror. We're not cool with facing the smokes to deny the plant because they don't want to bait out their utility. So let's just brute force down the lobby side. They trusted in their guns and they went for it, and it worked.
Now at the score of 6-4, Wolves will take their tactical timeout. 45 seconds to discuss with Lilon, their coach. I apologize to every French person out there. I'm terrible at pronouncing her name. Lilon?
Sorry, you're asking the wrong person.
Okay.
I'm terrible as well.
What would she be saying right now? Is this more about just resetting the mental? Like, there's still 2 rounds left in the tank. Like, there's no reason to break a sweat.
I think relax. That's what I would be saying to Wolves if I was in this final round. They've got it in them to win. They've been super clean this entire match, and the cleanliness of it all is starting to slip away a little bit now that they've gone through the side swap. So I think in this tactical timeout, they just need to trust in their strategy, play the strategy, and be cautious about it. I feel like is the right word I would use for Wolves. When they played their match against Bliss earlier today, it really felt like they were lacking that caution and that quiet in the server because they got a bit antsy, you know? And sometimes when you stray a foot away from the strategy, especially if you're a team that's as structured like Wolves, it can spell disaster. And relax.
It's been said that when you're in the server, it's not about learning new things or getting your coach to tell you the ultimate strategy. It's about how do you hit the skill ceiling that's already been determined for you coming into the game? And the coach's job is to get their players at that skill ceiling. Now, we've actually had a double tactical timeout here for a strange reason. The coach's mic wasn't working, unfortunately, so we had to reset the timer. So Lilon's actually had 45 seconds now to talk to the team. But yeah, you can see she's just finishing up her tactical timeout right now. And it's fairly calm words, as you can see. I want to see head up. I want to see chin up. Because when Wolves were winning, there was smiles. There was laughter. Bibu was 9-0. We need to see that fire back in this team.
They can do it, and I think they just need to be reminded that they can, and that's why Lilun is such an important coach here and such an important tactical timeout to be taking. This is an elimination match. We have to remind everyone, if you lose this series, you are out. Of course, there is still another match, but if you lose the series,
yeah, and you know, Wolves, if I recall correctly, they made it to every single major last year. I believe they were one of only 2 teams to do so. I believe it was Wolves and W7M in 2022 to make it to all 3 majors. They, of course, then made it to Six Invitational, where Wolves had their best ever performance with a top 6 result. And now they made it to Copenhagen, where they made top... no, they actually just missed out on top 8, if I recall correctly. They didn't make it to the main stage, which was no doubt a failure for them after a top 6 at SI. You'd expect to make the main stage at the next major. And here they are. They played their first game against the lowly Bliss and lost it. Now they're fighting for elimination. Wolves, they're better than this. They know it. They have such high expectations of themselves. And it's thoughts like that that start to make you suffer. In these moments, when you're playing against a team like Alpha Atheris in an elimination match, you need to chill out.
Info on the top floor. It does seem like, once again, Wolves are looking for that extended roam through the entire map, despite the bomb site being the basement. Flashbangs will ring out on the side of the attack, but no one to follow after that. Alpha Atheris playing a very cautious early game on the entry.
It's the right play. A couple of Wolves players have been very aggressive in this game. Bibu still 12-4, and here we go, Deadshot. He's been deadly on that Mozzie as well. Good denial of information there, taking down that Valkyrie camera. Ooh, good spray there from Deadshot. Man, he has been so sharp. He does quite a bit of damage to Hask there.
Mate, Deadshot has got the game tingle. You know, he's got the game sense tingle. I don't know how else to describe it, but he just has the timings for his gunfights like on point. They're so good. Oh, but there goes Moglito down, but not out.
Oh, he can drop back to
and in
side.
the safety of his bomb site as well. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's so cool. They all like saved him. They all ran to
saving Private Mowgli with the Azami Keeper barriers to support. Now, unfortunately for Alpha Atheris, P4 found a kill earlier as well. Ivan went down, who's really suffered this game. Have a look at that. Most deaths in the server at 11.
Interesting though. Now that Wolves have forfeited the top 2 floors, it does seem like Alpha Atheris are starting to capitalize on this mid-round. They are sending drones into the bomb site nice and early. They've identified that the wall inside of server is actually soft, I believe. So if they do want to open it up, all it's going to take is the buck. They don't really need Kamikaze down there if they don't want to. But are they going to go for this server take, or are they going to repeat a successful formula? Last time they attacked this bomb site, they just went for a flood down the lobby side of the map. But I don't know if repeating the same thing is going to catch Wolves off guard.
Well, it may have been dependent on whether they could counter this mirror window using the Twitch drone, but Wolves spotted it and took it down before Toski was able to do so. Now he has 1 Twitch drone left in pocket, but they're watching so avidly for this hatch drop. He's going to give it a crack anyway. Cross your fingers and hope to God that this lands on the canister. It's not an easy shot to land. There's 3 players watching it. Shinka has already taken down Hask. The numbers advantage is falling. Toski has to land this shot, but they spot the drone and take it down. it seems inevitable now, Mandy, that Wolves should secure the map.
Yeah, only 30 seconds left to go, and as soon as Kamikaze opens up that wall, he's going to face the resistance of Shinka, C4 in hand, with it all to do. 20 seconds left, he's got to try and get this bomb down. A flashbang's going to initiate it, but it's a tough spot now for Alpha Theris.
Okay, here comes the E1D and the onslaughts. It's like waves crashing into a wall. There's nothing for it. Wolves can steal away the game. Cool, calm, and collected on the back of the time.